Hey loves, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If your first time here, hi, my name is Abigail and you're so welcome. So in today's video, I want to talk about femininity. This topic is one of the most discussed topic on the net, and I've watched a couple of videos regarding this topic, and in those videos the things said in those videos seems to be out of touch with reality, like it's not in sync with reality, if that makes sense. So in today's video I want to share with you what femininity is all about, what it entails, what it doesn't entail, and how to be more feminine, if that makes sense. So when it comes to femininity, femininity isn't about being soft spoken. It isn't about putting on cute dresses or wearing pink dresses or acting extremely delicate or people pleasing. That is not what femininity is all about. Femininity is about your feelings, your energy. It's not about aesthetic. Because online I get to see people acting the same way, doing the same thing, and something just feels off or disconnected, if that makes sense. Because what makes us really different or what makes us stand out is our personality. So imagine everybody now acting the same way or doing the same thing. It just feels awkward and weird. So you don't perform femininity, you embody it, because femininity is about your person, you as a person, how you are naturally. Anyone trying to act softly usually feels disconnected to themselves. So if you're not a naturally soft spoken person and you're not trying to act like a soft spoken person, it seems weird, it seems inauthentic, because that is not the real you. So this is how I sound naturally. Now make it make sense if I now come online, I'm now sounding.
Hello, how are you? My name is Abigail. Welcome back to my channel.
Like, you get what I mean? It seems off because that is not the real me. That is not how I sound. What makes us different is our personality. So, femininity is all about embracing or embodying your personality, who you are, make it more pronounced. And one thing about this femininity of a thing is that people get to lose themselves just because they are trying to be more feminine. You don't have to lose yourself because you want to be more feminine. You don't have to. So basically, you have to be at peace with yourself. You have to appreciate and love yourself for you to be more feminine, for your femininity to be more pronounced, right? Because once you're at peace with yourself, once you love yourself, once you appreciate yourself, then femininity becomes natural. Femininity strives in presence, not in rushing things. And this is something that I am still actively working on in the aspect of not rushing conversations, eating without distraction, not reacting to everything and anything. These things are actually not difficult, but it takes a lot of intentionality to act this way. So when you're eating, you want to be very focused. You want to eat calmly and slowly, not slowly that it becomes sluggish and performative. Then it becomes really annoying. Do you understand? But eating calmly, eating at a very good pace, not rushing your food, because it's actually not right to rush your food when you're eating, if that makes sense. And if you're distracted when you're eating, you lose focus and you end up not eating your meal. And that is something that I always do because I'm always distracted, if that makes sense. So it takes a lot of intentionality to actually keep up with this act. So basically, you have to slow down your life. But slowing down your life doesn't mean that you now have to start acting very sluggish or acting a certain way that is not natural. So you have to be intentional about certain things. That way it becomes natural, it becomes part and parcel of you, if that makes sense. Now this brings me to the next point, which is for you to reconnect with your emotions. This is actually a very big one because a lot of people would say when you show your emotions, you're actually weak and things like that. And a lot of people don't show their emotion. They now suppress their emotion, and that is actually not cool. Do not suppress your emotions. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to laugh, laugh. And I learned this years back when I went to see a friend of mine who lost her dad. When I went to visit her, I went along with a friend of ours. So we were two who went to visit my friend who lost her dad, right? So on getting there, we spent time with her. And when it was time for us to go, she decided to see us off out of her estate. So as we were walking outside, she was crying because obviously she's sad. They were kind of consoling her, and I said something like, "Don't cry. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine. Don't cry. Don't cry. It's fine." Then my other friend that accompanied me to go see her tapped me and said I should not tell her not to cry. She should cry. And it just dawned on me that it makes sense. Allow her express her emotions. I knew that me telling her not to cry was from a place, from a genuine place, if that makes sense. But me telling her not to cry was me basically telling her to suppress her emotion, not to show how she felt or something like that, which was actually not okay. Someone who is sad, someone who is hot, not happy, it's actually okay for her to cry. That way, she's going to let out the pain of her chest, right? But if you're telling her not to cry, she's just suppressing it, which makes no sense. So basically, you want to learn to express yourself. Don't suppress your emotion. If you need to cry when you're sad, when you're hot, cry. If you need to laugh out loud, do that. It's actually very okay. So by doing that, you're reconnecting with your emotion. And when you are showing your or expressing your emotion, it doesn't make you weak. Neither is it bad to actually show your emotions. Do you understand? Now, this brings me to the next one, which is you need to start treating yourself gently. How you treat yourself sets the tone for how people would see you or how they would treat you. So, you don't want to say negative things about yourself. Say positive things. Be kind to yourself. Do not allow negativity to take over your whole life. There's no way negativity wouldn't come up. If I'm telling you that negativity wouldn't come up to mind, then that's a lie. Negativity will definitely come, but you have to be intentional about chasing that negativity away. That is why you have to say positive things about yourself. See yourself in a positive way, in a positive light, right? When you're able to focus on the positive things, the good things would overshadow the bad or the negative things. It's just like when you have a friend. If you're focusing on the bad things only, what happens? You would despise your friend. But when you decide to shift your focus from the negative or the bad and focus on your friend's good, you see the good in her and your love or your likeness for your friend would increase. That is how it is. For you to be able to like yourself, to love yourself more, you have to focus on the positive aspect of yourself, not the negative one. And also, you want to rest without feeling guilty. I know we live in a time where everybody are hustling, everybody are working their ass off to make ends meet. While that is actually very good, it's actually not good. So there has to be like a balance, if that makes sense. You don't have to overwork yourself. I am in that phase, I'm not going to lie, because I work a lot, and the moment I don't have something to do, it's as if something is missing. It's as if I need to look for something to do, and that's actually a very bad thing. So basically, you have to be intentional. When you don't have anything doing, you want to take out time to rest. Rest is very important. That leads to you taking care of your body internally and externally. If you don't take care of your body, you will realize that your body will shut down. And once your whole body shuts down, it becomes a problem. So you have to treat yourself by resting, by taking care of yourself. Because if you don't do that, it becomes a problem. Do you understand? So these are ways you can actually be more feminine by being intentional about yourself, about you. It's not about putting on cute or pink outfit. That is not what femininity is all about. It's about being intentional as to who you are, as to your type of person. That is what femininity is all about. Now, this leads me to the next point, which is you need to learn to receive instead of overgiving. Yeah, learn to accept help. I know as female, we are being told to work for money, don't rely on people, don't depend on people and things like that. While that is actually good, it is okay to work for your money. It's a very good thing, and you should work for your money. You should not be dependent on somebody. It's actually a very good thing. But when there's an opportunity for someone to help you out, you want to be willing to accept that help. It is very, very important. So don't just say, oh, I can do it by myself, I can do this by myself. Be willing to accept help. Do not be the only one giving, and you're not receiving. You have to receive because femininity attracts, it doesn't chase. So if you're the one giving, then you're not attracting. Do not do everything for everybody. Do not be the only one doing everything for everybody. Learn to accept help. Let people show up for you. That is what femininity is all about. And also stop over explaining yourself. I used to be this kind of person who wants to be understood. But at some point, it makes no sense. If you know someone is intentionally trying to make you doubt who you are, your values, there is no point explaining yourself for them to see your value or yourself because they're trying to mess with your brain. So there's no point. You don't have to over explain yourself in every situation. You don't have to do that. But when you're in a situation that needs you to explain, do that. But it's not everything you have to over explain yourself. It just makes you look a certain way, look desperate, if that makes sense. So you don't have to be in a situation like that. If people don't understand you, allow them to understand you. It's okay and it's totally normal. Now, femininity isn't about pleasing people, people pleasing you. It's not about that. If you need to say no to certain things, say no and let your no be no. You have to set boundaries. These are the things that makes you feminine. And also, femininity isn't about people pleasing. It's not about pleasing people. When you put yourself in a position to please people every single time, you hurt your own self. So when you need to say no, say no. You don't have to say yes to everything and anything. When you need to say no, say no. It is important that you set boundaries. Boundaries are very, very, very important. Also, you want to leave situations that drains you, that cost you your peace of mind. Be it your work or your relationship, anything that is causing you sleepless nights, that is making you feel sad, feel hot, leave it. You are not tied to that work, you're not tied to that relationship. Do you understand? So you don't have to stay in a place that is making you unhappy, making you overthink, forming hard girl or hard lady. No, it's actually not okay. That's not what femininity is all about. Anything that costs you your peace of mind, leave. And when you need to say no, say no. That is now you being soft and intentional. So being soft doesn't even make you weak. Doesn't mean you're weak. It just means that you know what is right for you. You don't want problem. You don't want anything that's going to affect your mental state. That is what femininity is all about. Everything is not hard, hard, hard. I must stay there. I must show this. I must show them this. That is not what femininity is all about. And if you notice in all the things I have been saying, I have never mentioned, oh, you have to wear pink outfits, put on makeup, wear wigs, and things like that. Because that is not what being feminine entails. That is not the main thing. Even though it's actually part of it, it's not the main thing. And now when it comes to how you look, your appearance, you want to be clean and intentional about your appearance because your appearance says a lot about you. And when it comes to your outfit, you want to put on outfit that makes you comfortable, that makes you look graceful, something that you're comfortable in. So it doesn't necessarily have to be pink outfit. The way people say, oh, you have to put on pink outfit, you have to put on pajamas, you have to put on this and do you get? That is not what being feminine is all about. It's about wearing something that you're comfortable in. That is what femininity is all about. Doing things that you like and making it pronounced as a lady. And it's not a must you have to put on wigs and makeup. These things are not a must. If people are saying, oh, you have to put on makeup, clean girl makeup, you have to wear wig, you have to do this, then it means that people who don't like makeup, who don't wear wigs, they cannot be feminine. And that's actually not true. You can actually be feminine without putting on makeup, putting on wigs. So it's not a must put on wigs and makeup. And if you decide to put on wigs and makeup, it's actually okay. These are just expressions. Femininity starts from the inside, then it reflects outwardly. That is how it is. Femininity is not something you buy, neither is it something you copy. So when you see someone or people acting a certain way, just know that they are not being authentic. They are not allowing their own personality to shine through. So if you're a very loud person, your voice is very audible when you speak, you're not really soft spoken. Femininity is not about you dimming how you talk to be seen as feminine. If you're loud the way you are, speak like that. As long as you're not shouting, because there's a difference between being loud and shouting. Do you get? But the moment you know that you don't sound very soft when speaking and you're not trying to act that way, you're basically not being yourself. And femininity or being feminine means you have to be yourself. And you have to do things in an intentional way or manner. That is what femininity is all about. So it's not about putting on makeup, putting on this and that. So once you're able to be comfortable in yourself as a lady and do things that are right, right? Put on clothes or outfit that you like, it becomes part and parcel of you. It becomes natural. Is that making any sense? So it becomes natural. It's not something that you force any longer. Do you understand? Yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, please can you give it a very big thumbs up. Share your thoughts down below. And if you got this far and you haven't subscribed to this channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Kindly hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I get to publish a new video on my channel. On this note, see you in my next video. Bye.